years since the last and first Irish Classic winner was trained by a lady trainer. Sarah for Francis Crowley in 2005. Now Jack Naylor, trained by Jessica Harrington, has a sporting chance of becoming the second. How hopeful are you going into this race?
Well, one's always hopeful. One wouldn't be running if one wasn't hopeful. Yes, I'm hopeful. I think she seems to be back in very, very good form. Maybe, she hadn't run before she ran in the Guineas, and maybe the English Oaks just came one step a little bit quick. And she's had the best part of 6 weeks now since the Oaks. And I think she's, we put her out in the field for a couple of weeks, and she had a real relaxation, and we've now wound her up again, and she's worked really well, and I'm happy with her.
The Guineas run was really eye-catching.
Yes, it was, and it was our first run of the year, and maybe, I'm never quite sure about this bounce back factor. Maybe it was, first run of the year and then running her back a bit quick. Just because that was the way the programme was. Maybe that was the problem.
And the gradient at Epsom?
I don't think it really suited her. She was sort of leaning out, coming down the hill. Just wasn't very comfortable. And then she did get a bit of meat in the sandwich when the camber changed. And I'm not sure she was that happy galloping on that camber there. It is amazing, the track at Epsom. You wonder, it's a real true test of a horse.
Her two-year-old form is extraordinary. I mean, she's beaten Legitissimo, she's beaten Qualify on different occasions, 3 wins.
Yeah, she did. She took on the best as a two-year-old, and she did very well. And then, really when we looked at this year, she just was slow to come to hand in the spring. And so that's why she didn't run till the Guineas, which probably wasn't ideal. But hopefully in the way now it might stand to us to have a good autumn campaign.
Jessie, you picked her out yourself for 10,500. What did you see in her?
Well, she wasn't over big, but she was a very good-bodied filly and a very good walker, and had good big feet. And I thought, well, the reason she might grow into her feet, and I just liked her. And I had a budget. Jerry Bernard said, buy me a yearling. He was expecting me to get him a colt, and I rang him up and said, I bought you a filly for 10.5, and my budget was 12. So I was within budget, and got a filly, and so that's how it came about.
What do you think her trump card is?
She's got very good temperament. She's very easy to train. And she's very tough. She showed it last year when she was a 2-year-old. She had plenty of runs, and each time she ran, she seemed to get better. And
what's in her name, tell me? Jack Naylor.
Oh, Jack Naylor, that's a long story. It's all to do with Jerry sadly lost a grandson very early on. He was only 6 weeks old, and he was called Jack. So when I bought this horse, that had just happened before, I bought her, and he said, it's going to be called Jack. And I said, well, it's a filly. And he said, well, it's still going to be called Jack. So she's called Jack Naylor after the doctor in Hobie City.
As well. Jessie, best of luck.